Mike, you know, one of the things that I see on the lesson tee a lot of times and going out and playing with people is that they have a hard time trying to blend, what we call blend, a lot of the aspects of the game together, like the mechanical, the physical side of the game, and most importantly, tactical. And what I want you to do for me right now is explain a little bit about and give an illustration about how this balancing or blending of these aspects come about. I think you got a real good analogy and something to show folks that'll help them understand that.
Absolutely, Clint. You know, when we're thinking about improving our golf games, folks, we're ultimately talking about playing better golf. In the GGM approach, we break it down into 3 levels or 3 dimensions. One's mechanical, has very much to do with the golf club, the tool. After all, the golf club is a tool and it's going to dictate where the ball goes. So the mechanical level, as we work with folks, when the mechanical level will have very much to do with the golf club and what it's doing. So when we're working in that dimension, it's kind of like, we're going to use this little analogy here to kind of convey this message. When we're working in the mechanics of the swing, it's just like juggling one ball. Okay, we're just focused on the mechanics of the golf swing. The next dimension would be physical,
right.
Our bodies. Okay, now it gets a little more complicated because we're dealing with 300 muscles in the body all
right.
working together at the same time. So now we're talking about the physical dimension coupled up with the mechanical dimension. Now we're juggling 2 balls. We're focusing on 2 things at once. Gets a little more complicated. Nevertheless, the physical and the mechanical needs to be blended together.
Right.
Okay, now ultimately, in order for us to play better golf, we're going to do this on the golf course. Enter in the tactical aspect of playing better golf. The mental processes and the emotional processes that we go through and have to use while we're playing are now a factor.
Right.
So now we've got a 3rd ball in play here, the tactical dimension. Again, we've got the mechanical,
right.
We've got the physical, and now we've got the tactical. So the tactical dimension would be the 3rd ball. Okay, now if I'm going to juggle 3 balls successfully, okay, I have to not be over-focused on any one of those balls. If I do, I cannot juggle.
Right.
So the process of blending is it can be illustrated very effectively with the juggling act. If I over-focus on any one of these 3 balls, I
right.
cannot juggle. So I have to blend together the 3 in such a manner that I can just smoothly and fluidly continue juggling. Once I focus or begin looking at one ball, I cannot juggle anymore. And that's what happens to folks in the process of trying to improve their games. They get over-focused on one aspect, where it's absolutely necessary for us to realize that we have to blend these things together in such a manner that we ultimately play better golf.
Right, I guess, Mike, what you're trying to say is, and very effectively saying as well, is that we can't over prioritize one area of that. We can't just get focused on it. And what I see a lot of times when dealing with folks in the scoring tactical side is that they get stuck in working on their physical or mechanical dimensions of their game and lose sight of that 3rd one, you know, that they can't blend it all together. So they get stuck in the 2 and never spend enough time to really learn how to use it, okay? And one of the things I think we want people to understand about that is that in order to be able to blend those things together, you have to practice them at the area you need to. So when you go and practice your mechanical and physical things, you're out on the driving range and practice facility. But where you really got to go is to the golf course and focus your attention on the tactical side to learn how to play and use that tactics to utilize and get as much out of your physical and the mechanical dimensions of your game that you can. One of the things that Mike and I talk about a lot, and I truly believe from a competitive player standpoint, is you have to practice being competitive. And I think that blends down into the fact that you have to practice the tactics and do it on the golf course. Therefore, you're not being able to focus on one. You got to put them all together at the same time. We hope this will help you out. Mike, it's a great explanation of how we got to blend the things together, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.